Flyers, Phillies, let's talk about them. Sixers, Eagles, let's talk about them. What the Union doing? Pull up with the crew and have a drink or two and let's talk about them. This a PHI bar. Bruce Willis, we die hard. I know you feel us, cause Philly fans is the best sports fans by far. No cheating here, we gon' keep it fair. You don't like my set, somebody help them. This the key, if we can disagree without disrespecting, everybody welcome. So what we talking about? Practice? What we talking about? Let's unpack this. Top Shelf, Sports Talk, lights, cameras, we active.
Yo, it's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back on this beautiful Sunday morning. If you're just waking up, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I am riding solo today. Solo, my brother's at work, making that money for him and his family, so I can't, be mad at that. But we are going to have a great show. Great show. Clap it up for that. All right. Over the last couple days, we've been hearing the NFL, different teams, different fans of these teams complain about the tush push. Like, complain about the tush push. That's what I say. Like, what? Like, I mean, Green Bay came out last year, or in the offseason, to try to get it banned. They were the first one to lead the charge to try to get the tush push banned. And they were unsuccessful. The league saw that there was nothing bad about the play. There was nothing dangerous about the play. It's just a play that nobody can stop. They have a 96% completion rate, completion rating on it, and nobody can stop it. So the league is mad about it. The league is upset about it. Now, if I'm being fair and not biased and not being a fanboy or not like that, I am going to admit that last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, they did jump off sides twice. A false start. They did. But then so the problem is now when they mess up, everybody want to put it out there and say, oh, it's always offsides. They look at where their helmets line up and this and the third. And you can't take one game, one scenario, and marry it to everything else that we've done since we instituted that play. If you can't stop it, just know that you can't stop it, or do something better. Get lower, if that's even a possibility. It's not our fault that you can't stop the play. But you want to go complain to the league, Roger Goodell, all the league owners, and say that play should be banned. Like, it trips me out. Like, I'm watching the game last week, and yes, like I said, they did false start twice. And to hear a guy like Dean Blandino, who's supposed to be the official ref, whoever he is, he's supposed to, he's the replay assist when it comes to the refs to make sure they got the refs the call right. But to hear that guy say, I'm over this play. I'm over this play. Can y'all hear me out there? Because I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Can anybody, if anybody can hear me, put a thumbs up in the comments. I would appreciate that. Because I don't want to keep rambling. Because sometimes I'll be having this trouble with this app. But if you can hear me out there, just put a thumbs up in the chat for me. I would appreciate it. But to hear a guy like Dean Blandino say, I'm over this play. It's like finger red number 1. What is that? I don't know if that's I guess that means you can hear me, Jay. You on YouTube. YouTube type something crazy up there. Let me show you what YouTube type. I don't know what that means. You got to tell me what you mean by that. I have no idea. Finger red number 1. I'm a little slow. Oh, can hear. Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you. But to hear a guy like Dean Blandino say, I I'm over that play. It's like, how can you have a dog in the fight? You're supposed to be neutral to all of this. You're supposed to be neutral to this. How are you sitting here on national TV, a national game, saying that you're over this play? Why do you even care? Why do you even care? How is it really affecting you? Like, I mean, are you admitting that you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan and that you're tired of seeing the Eagles use this play to convert first downs and touchdowns against your team? Is that what you're saying? But to hear you say that you're tired or you're over this play, to me, it's like, wow, dude. How can you, like, I even heard Devontae Adams, and I got nothing but respect for Devontae Adams. I even heard him, say that it's not a football play, and he kind of wishes that it wasn't involved, in the game. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all hating that bad? Is it that much? Y'all hating that much? Good morning, mother. How are you? That y'all got to sit back and conspire against the play. But I guarantee you, if they can run the play successful, if they could do it, if their team was doing it, they wouldn't have this issue. They wouldn't have this issue. Like, if their team was able to run that play with nothing but success, a 96% completion rate, they wouldn't complain about the play. They wouldn't complain about it at all. Let me fix my camera. Hold on. There it is. They wouldn't complain about the play at all. But the fact that these teams can't stop it makes it all the more better for them to try to complain about it. And it's a shame. It's really a shame because at the end of the day, like, we found something that works for us. And other teams have tried it, but they couldn't do it at the success rate that we've done it. Other teams have tried it, but they couldn't do it at the success rate that we've done it, and they're mad at that. Teach the technique better, because like I said, I guarantee you, if they could run the play just as effective as we do, those teams wouldn't complain about it. Those teams would run the play and not complain about it should be banned or anything. They would be on board with the play because their team could run it, they could do it, they could execute it just as well as we do. Or if any team could stop it, if that play was stoppable, they wouldn't complain about it. But because our linemen are better than your defensive line, you're mad at us? And the funny thing is, I saw Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce's podcast, and Travis Kelce said it wasn't even, he don't have no problem with the play. He don't have no problem with the play. You just got to figure out a way to stop it. It's a part of the game. The league didn't ban it. The league didn't say that we couldn't do it. So it's time for us to try to stop it. Chris Jones is like, they might have jumped off sides, but we got to figure out a way to stop it. It's a legal play. It's very legal. So what are we complaining about? Like, at the end of the day, that kills me because it's like we are mastering something and the league wants to hate against it. The league wants us not to be able to do it because we do it better than anybody else. We won games off of that. Last week we won a game off of that. I mean, don't get it wrong. I've always said that I didn't like the play. I don't really like it because at the end of the day, I think that you can give your running backs a shot. And this week, I would love to see them line up as if they're getting ready to do the tush push and then toss it out the backfield to Saquon, AJ Dillon, whoever else, and get a touchdown. I like to see them burn some people off of it, make people believe that's what they're getting ready to do, and back up and pass out of it. Because I think that play is so effective. So many people when they see that lineup, so many people going to go straight to the line and be like, all right, they're getting ready to do the tush push. And you'll catch a lot of teams off guard. The league hate dominance. Yeah. The league hates dominance. They like parity. That's true. But at the end of the day, like, you can't sit back and want to hate on a team that does a play better than anybody else. Like, y'all had a chance to vote on it. 22 out of 24 teams voted that they wanted to ban it. There wasn't enough vote. You needed 24 votes. So it's it. We know we about to run the play, and they still can't stop it. Hurts. Yeah, it do. But at the end of the day, your defensive line coach has to teach better. He has to prepare his line better. I don't know if there's a way you can do that. I don't know what you can do to stop the play, but you got to do something. It's not illegal. But like I said, it trips me out because if any other team can do what we do on that play, nobody would care. Nobody would want to see it banned. Nobody would have an issue with it. Everybody would just be running the play like, all right, well, it's a legal play. But because we're the only team that can run the play and run it successfully, everybody's like, I want to see it banned. I don't want to. It's not a football play. And like I said, a guy like Dean Blandino, it's like, how do you have a dog in a race? Because you're not supposed to be that. You're not supposed to be biased when it comes to that. To say that you're on national TV, to say that you're over that play, that's to me is like, bro, are you serious? How are you over something that you're not supposed to be even really caring about? You're a rule. You're supposed to be with the rules of what the refs are calling out there on the field. Like, you're not supposed to be worried about a specific play. Then I heard Shefty went on one of the local radio stations, and he was airing the play out, and they had to get on him. And it's like, why do you guys have so much at stake when it comes to this play, and you're not supposed to? The defensive linemen got to get lower than our offensive play. They do, but I don't. At that point, to be honest, Mac, they'd probably be laying on the ground if that was the case. They literally probably would be laying on the ground. You know what I mean? And then it'd be 10 times harder getting up. Like I said, I'll be straight up and honest. I will be straight up and honest. They false start twice last week on the play. They did. And I get how it gives the other team a disadvantage when your team is jumping off early. I understand that. But it still doesn't mean that people got to come out and say, dang, 45-17, man, that's a big score. I don't know about that one. That's a big score. Yeah, go Birds anyway. Go Birds, E-Money Billy. Good morning to you, brother. I haven't seen you up here in a while, man. So shout out to you. Hope all is well. You know what I mean? But that's a lot. It's crazy. Like I said, it's just crazy to see the high rate of hatred for that play that the league has. It's our third down. It's our third game and acting like the B word. Yeah, I know. That's what it's about. But see, here's the thing, though, Mac. You know what's gonna happen? It's probably us. It's probably us out leveraging them and us having bigger guys on our offensive line compared to these smaller D lines. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I mean, since we ran the play, nobody's got hurt. I think one time Jalen Hurts got hurt, so it would be a disadvantage to us. But nobody's really gotten hurt since the play has been run, and that's what the league looked at. Is anybody getting hurt? Is there potential to get hurt? It's like I'm saying, like, it's like soon, with everybody crying so much, it's gonna be like we're gonna turn the league into flag football. We're gonna turn the league straight into flag football because guess what's gonna happen? They already banning certain tackles. It's like, all right, now if you tackle somebody too hard, it's like that's more of a risk to getting hurt than the tush push is. So let's figure out a way to ban the tackle. Like that's what's going to happen. Let's figure out a way to ban tackling. Like, it can hurt somebody. And at that point, then what you do as a football league, nobody's going to watch your product then. If you start to ban tackling, nobody's going to watch your product. Everybody's going to be like, man, this is nonsense, man. You know what I mean? You see that golden clip I had sent you? Gruden clip, yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch it all the way, but yeah, I seen it. But you know, the thing is, man, like I say, it's some people that'll sit back and be honest with you know the league about it and say it's not about it being illegal. Drop my phone. It's not about it being illegal. It's about it you being able to stop it. That is 95% of the problem because you complete 90%, 96% of your first downs or touchdowns off of that play. People are mad about it. And so they want it, like I said, they want it banned. But I just don't get some of the people that's sitting out there saying that they want it banned. I don't see how they have a dog in a race. Like, I really don't see how some of those people sitting there like, yeah, I'm tired of this play. I'm over this play. This needs to be stopped. I don't see how certain people are able to do that. The league don't like the Eagles. You see they fined Barkley for lowering his head. They fined Barkley for lowering his head. They fined Nolan Smith for celebrating the tackle. Like, is it our fault that Howie Roseman is a elite GM, probably the best GM in the game? Is it our fault that we found a play that nobody could stop? Like, really, is it our fault? Like, think about all the losing we've done over the years. And for us now to have a legitimate team, a good team, and say what you want about Jalen Hurts. Say what you want about Jalen Hurts, right? The man cares nothing about stats and numbers. Nothing about stats and numbers, only about wins and losses, and particular wins. And the good thing is, you see what the league, like the reporters are trying to do with AJ Brown. They're trying to figure out a way to get in his head to complain about, you know, the lack of targets, you know, how he's been used in this offense. They're trying to figure out a way to get to him. That Nolan Smith was straight BS. It definitely was. It was. Like, how do you first of all, how do you call a penalty on that? I think he stopped the first. He stopped the third and long or third and short or whatever from getting a first down, or he got a sack or something. Whatever it was, how do you call a penalty on that? Like, how do you call a penalty on that for celebrating that? I don't care if he stood. They say he stood up over top of the guy, but I've seen that done plenty of times, and nobody got called for it. Nobody got fined for it. Nothing. Best thing for us is to have haters. We better. When folks die. Yeah, I know, that's the underdog mentality. That was that first Super Bowl run. When everybody hated on us and didn't believe that we was going to make it happen, and we made it happen. The league didn't think that it was going to happen. You know, we underdogs. But it makes no sense that people that genuinely shouldn't have anything to do, like with a rooting interest of a particular team, get mad at us for being successful at a play. That don't make no sense. We are the only team after winning the Super Bowl that got to play on a Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come on, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. The schedule to me, like the first five, 6 games, they were pretty tough. They're gonna be pretty tough. But that only measures the how we are as a team, as a unit, as a group. And if we get through, because everybody predicting us to lose today. Everybody's thinking that we're going to lose today against the Rams. But if we go out and play our game against the Rams, beat them, and we go through the first 10 games without a loss, there's nothing the league going to be able to do to stop us. Standing over top of someone is a penalty this year. But he didn't stand over him. He just celebrated in front of him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but even like they're taking the fun out of the game. Remember years ago they tried to take the touchdown celebration away with the football? It's like guys was getting creative when they scored touchdowns and doing whatever their celebrations they wanted to do. And they try to take that away. Like standing over top of a guy or standing in front of a guy, standing near a guy, however you want to call it, celebrating the fact that you had a game-winning stop or a drive stop or whatever, a sack or whatever the case may be, you shouldn't be penalized for being happy about that. For celebrating that, it should not make you, or it should not get you result in a penalty. Because at the end of the day, it's like you work hard to have some of these moments. And there's so many times that you don't get these moments, and then when you do get them, you hype about it. So for me to celebrate the fact that I got to stop a quarterback sack or whatever the case may be, it should not result in me getting a penalty or a fine because I was happy. Like, this is football. This is a gladiator sport. And they're trying to turn it into a wimp sport where everybody get to complain and get what they want. Especially when it comes against us. Like, we're one of the, like right now, everybody's saying in the comments, we're one of the most hated teams out there in the NFL right now. And all we did was found a formula to success to win. That's all we did. We figured out the best opportunities and the best ways for us to win. And people are mad about it. How are you mad because we figured out a way to win? When Tom Brady was doing it, even Patrick Mahomes on his runs, nobody was mad about them. Nobody said a word. But the Eagles figure it out. The Eagles start to win. And now all the hatred come out. Like I said, it's one thing for fans to hate the play. You can hate the play as a fan. I ain't mad at you as a fan to hate the play. But it's one thing as a fan to hate the play versus an on-air talent who's supposed to be neutral, at least while they're on air. You're supposed to be at least neutral while you're on air. But to openly criticize the play on air makes no sense. Now, like to get to last week's game, like I said, they did jump off sides, false start twice. But they found a way to win. This is what I want to talk about real quick before we get into the pick'em segment of the show. Kevin Patullo. I did see some things that were good last week. I think he tried to mix the run with the pass. I need to know y'all thought process on this. I think he tried to have a balanced attack. And I think that he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, I don't want to see the big flashy plays. It's not about, going deep and doing all of that. It's about being a little bit more aggressive because this team, the Rams, they got a pretty good young defense. And they were within a Jalen Carter sack from beating us last year to get into, the NFC Championship. But I need to see Kevin Patullo come out this game and really be a little bit more aggressive in play calling and get the confidence of Jalen Hurts and the rest of the guys behind him. Even though I agree with the Nick Sirianni call when he kicked the field goal, I think going in at half, and Jalen Hurts thought that they should go for it or try to convert for the first down. I agree with Nick Sirianni because you saw him over there talking to him like, yo, why we ain't going for it. I agree with Nick Sirianni. Get the points. We want the points. You can't linger in a game with Patrick Mahomes. You can't sit there and play tit for tat with Patrick Mahomes because he will burn you. He will burn you. When he scored that last touchdown, like he was off pretty much all game. We got the pressure on him, but he was the only one that was actually playing. Shout out to Andrew McCouba for that interception against Travis Kelce. He saw that all the way. He watched that. That guy's young. See, I'm getting off subject, but what's crazy to me is that everybody kept saying, a lot of other team fans kept saying that we lost a lot on defense. CJ, GJ, Milton Williams, and all that. Our defense is still top. I don't know where they're ranking right now. Somebody tell me they're ranking right now. I don't know, but our defense is still like top 5, top 10 in the league right now. And the league the year is young. Andrew McCouba is going to be a dog. Jahad Campbell is a dog. Like, only thing we have a problem with right now, and I swear, if he gets beat this game, if he gets beat like he stole something this game, you got to get rid of Dory Jackson. Go out there and get ninth in the league, ninth, We got to go out there and get a Asante Samuel Jr. Go out there and get somebody, because Adoree Jackson, if he gets beat like he stole something this game, he ain't it. Get rid of him. You brought Jacoby and Bennett in. You might want to give him a little bit more play, because at the end of the day, Adoree Jackson ain't it. I think his best days are behind him. If we can shore that cornerback 2 position up, I think this team will go get right back to that number 1 defensive status. Who's number 1, Jay? Who's number 1 in the league in defense? But I think if we get that cornerback 2 position, and it kind of frustrates you a little bit when you think about it, because you're like, we should have kept Slay. We should have tried to figure out a way to pay Slay for 1 more year at least, because Adoree Jackson, he looks like he has no clue out there, and that's gonna hurt us, because teams, like, they're targeting him. They're not targeting what you call I hate when I have Quavion Mitchell. They're not targeting his side, and Quavion need to follow Devontae Adams around all day today. Whatever, it doesn't matter, whatever side they're on, they need to shift coverage with him to Devontae Adams all day. Do not let them switch and have him line up against Adoree Jackson or even Jacoby Bennett. Do not let him switch up against them, because he will have a field day. We need pressure on Matthew Stafford. We got to make sure Matthew Stafford feels Jalen Carter all day long. We got to put the pressure on him all day long. We need about 3-4 sacks this game. We need about 3. We need my man Jordan Davis to stop the run, stuff the hose in the, clog the hose up, get some stops on the run. See, again, my formula to success, like I told y'all last year, it's not us going out and having this flashy, offense and being the top 5 offense in the league or top. Offense sell tickets, defense win games. We gotta really go out there and play, do our identity. Our identity is defense. That's our identity. We gotta play defense. That's it. And once we play our defense, the game is ours. 1, 2, 3, Cleveland. Cleveland got the number 1 defense? Falcons, Green Bay, and Rams. Okay. Dang, Cleveland. I didn't know Cleveland had the number 1 defense. But we gotta go out and get stops. And at the end of the day, that's my key for us to win again this year, to repeat. It's our defense. It's not our offense. It's our defense. I think teams now are going to try to scheme more against our offense, because they know what Saquon Barkley's going to do. They know what A.J. Brown and Smitty going to do. And like I said, I've had shows with Jay and my man Smitty in the past talking about Jalen Hurts. I got a guy at work who talks not down on Jalen Hurts, but just doesn't think he has what it takes to win. I gave him proof last week. When they needed a deep shot, he went deep to Smitty, dropped the ball in the basket. When he needed I don't think he threw, and I don't want to jinx it, so I'm gonna knock on wood. I don't think the man threw an interception this year. Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that. He ain't throwing an interception this year. Don't get it wrong, the numbers, people, like I said, people are fixated on numbers, stats, and all that. They're not fixated on the wins and losses. I mean, think about it. I mean, Russell Wilson last week, even though he's probably washed up, and I'm using probably a bad example, but threw over 450 yards last week against the Cowboys. And they lost the game, and their record is 0-2. So what is stats and numbers actually doing for you if you're not winning? 0 INTs, yep. What is stats and numbers doing for you if you're not winning the game? That's the stupidest comment ever. He just won a Super Bowl and been to 2. I try to tell him that he's a Cowboy fan, so you take it with a grain of salt. But I try to tell him that it's like he went to 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Won 1, Super Bowl MVP of 1. of the last one. And last year in the Super Bowl, they took Saquon Barkley out of the game, or they game plan against Saquon Barkley, and said to Jalen Hurts, "You got to beat us." And I don't understand how people don't believe the fact that Jalen Hurts can do that. He's beaten teams with his arm over the last couple of years when he has to. When he has to, he's beaten teams with his arm over the last couple of years. So what makes you believe that he can't do it now? Like what makes you believe that he can't do it now? Like I don't get why people think that he can't do it now when he's done it over his career. Like I said last week, just to be more recent than anything, last week when they needed a deep shot to and he told they showed the mic'd up version when he was on the sideline. He told Devontae Smith that I'm gonna hit you with the go route. We're getting ready to do the go route. And what happened? Back shoulder, had to turn around, catch the ball, deep pass. We needed that. So I don't get why people believe that he can't do it. Makes sense with the delusion from a Cowgirl fan, but they still have faith in Dak, so make sense. I know. Just not to try to Dak is the performance of that team ain't on Dak. Like Dak's look good. Him, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens have been looking good together. They don't have no running game. They don't have no offensive line. Their defense is obviously shot. So I mean, they're not really going against good teams. They're not going to do anything. You know what I mean? Because they don't have it. They don't have enough to win. But at the end of the day, that's their problem. And like I said, he is a delusional Cowgirls fan. But it's fun bantering and going back and forth with him because you just try every time I just prove him wrong, and there's always something else. I try to get him to come on the show. But he don't want to be a part of it because it's nothing. Like he is actually like Smitty. He could care less about that. He don't really care about that. But my man Dave at work, he's a Dak fan. He supports Dak. And like I said, this year so far, he hasn't been a reason for any loss, the loss they have against us. You know what I mean? But he can't do it all by himself. Him, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. I mean, CeeDee Lamb lost the first game. But him, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens can't do it by themselves. They need running back. They need an offensive line. They need defense. They need a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's their problem. That's not our problem. Let me pull up because I don't think I printed it out. Hold on. Let me pull up week 3 NFL Pick'em so we can get into that part of the show because I know a lot of people are waiting for that, and I've been rambling long enough about my displeasure with the hold on, my mouse. I don't know what's wrong with my keyboard or mouse. All right, week 3 NFL Pick'em goes a little something like this. Hit it! I probably had y'all thinking I was going to play some music or something, but I ain't doing all that. But listen, anyway, all right, so just so y'all know, I have a new way of putting Pick'em out. I do it off of Google Forms, so it's easier for me to track you guys' pick. It's all going to one place. It's a lot less stress, and I don't have to worry about missing somebody's pick. So what I do is I try to put it out Tuesday morning, have you guys fill it out. Thursday around 8 o'clock, 8:15, I usually, turn it off and delete the 8 o'clock game because you can't submit picks for 8 o'clock game after it started, or after it's over. So I delete it, and so that way it'd be fair to everybody. So if you don't pick Thursday, if you don't see it during the week and you miss Thursday night game, it counts as a loss. Sorry. Anyway, but most of you guys that's been on here, y'all been filling it out. Y'all been on time, so I appreciate that. Clap it up for y'all. So we're gonna start off with Miami at Buffalo. That was a Thursday night game. We seen Buffalo beat Miami. They kind of made it close. I guess it's a division game, and they made it close. But we saw Buffalo uh, come out victorious. I think they won by 10. They covered the spread. And I had no doubt that Buffalo was going to win that game. Um, Next game is today, 1 o'clock game starting at Atlanta at Carolina. Atlanta at Carolina. I really don't know what Carolina team or what Carolina is doing. Yeah, you pick Buffalo. I really don't know what Carolina is doing. They look like they had something promising last year at the end of the season after they benched Bryce Young and got back. They look like he came back and started balling. But I don't know what Carolina is doing. So obviously I'm going to Atlanta. Reese, what's up, Reese? You going to Atlanta? Jason going to Atlanta? I think we all going to pick Atlanta on that game because to me, my mom went Atlanta. I don't know what Carolina is doing now. Like I said, Bryce Young doesn't look nowhere near, and they traded away Adam Thielen, which to me was Bryce Young's safety net. He could count on him. So I don't know what Carolina is doing, and it's crazy out there. But that's on them. Next game, Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns. Now, because my cousin is a Green Bay fan, and I really don't want to say that Green Bay is going to win, but there's no way they lose to Cleveland. There's no way they lose to Cleveland. So I'm going Green Bay. I know he's going Green Bay. I know pretty much everybody's going Green Bay. Yeah, see, he went Packers. I don't really want to see the Packers win, but hey, it is what it is. They got a good team. I can't wait to play them. I think we play y'all week 8, week 9, or something like that. I can't wait to play y'all because that's going to be an epic game. Jason went Packers, and I like I said, we've had the formula to kind of isolating. My mom picks Green Bay, Micah Parsons. So you text me that time when y'all picked up Micah Parsons. I wasn't. I know you can't wait. I wasn't scared of that because think about it. I'm not saying that he doesn't have sacks against the Eagles or pressure against the Eagles, but we know how to throw over top of him and keep him out of the game. You know what I mean? We know how to do it. So y'all picking up Micah Parsons, to me, doesn't really matter. It makes y'all feel, it makes y'all definitely Super Bowl contenders, but it doesn't matter to us because we know how to neutralize him. Next game, Houston at Jacksonville. Houston at Jacksonville. Houston came off he has a lot of help because, listen, y'all, y'all lost the guy Kenny Clark in that trade. We beat y'all twice with the defense y'all have last year, and y'all just added Micah Parsons. Now, granted, y'all should be like number 1, number 2 defense in the league, but it doesn't mean nothing to us. I'm not worried about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Houston won last week, or did they lose last week? They didn't lose last week. Yeah, I think they lost last week. But I think Houston has enough to beat Jacksonville. I don't know what Jacksonville is doing either. That's another one of those teams. Jason with Jaguars. That's another one of those teams that you don't know what you're going to get out of that team. And Jaguars got some talent. I don't know if Trevor what's his name? Trevor Lawrence is the issue or not. But I'm going Houston in that game. I just think Houston they do to get a win. I think they lost last week. Houston is like 0-2. So I think Houston is going to get the win. Y'all winning games by 3 can't stop. Can't stop. It's a new season. We'll see week 8. Yeah. Here's the thought process. Here's the thing though, Reese. We winning games by 3 points though, right? I think the key part of it is that we're winning games. We're not losing games by 3. We're winning games by 3. So we saw last year the Chiefs go 15-1 off of 1 possession or less games. So it doesn't matter how you win. A win is a win, as long as you win. We beat y'all in the season opener in Brazil. We beat y'all in the first round of the playoffs. It's going to happen again, bro. It's going to happen again. Don't worry about it. Next game, Cincinnati at Minnesota. Carson Wentz is starting. I had picked Minnesota in that game because I believe that Jake Browning, because he's starting for what's his name, Joe Burrow. I believe that Carson Wentz is probably going to try to figure out a way to. He's going to have one of those rejuvenating moments in his career because with a quarterback whisperer and Kevin O'Connell. I think that Carson Wentz might put on a show today. Sorry, we're 2-0. Oh, mouse be acting crazy. You said sorry. Sorry, we're 2-0 too. See you soon. What's the next pick? You got the Vikings. Jason got the Vikings. I got the Vikings too. Like I said, I think Carson Wentz is going to have one of those games where he's showing the league that I still can play. He's set back behind some good quarterbacks. He sat back behind Patrick Mahomes. I'm on with Minnesota. So he claims that he learned a lot and sitting back some of the behind some of the great quarterbacks that's playing the game or is getting having great futures in the game. So he thinks he's going to have a bounce back. All right, next game: Pittsburgh at New England. Pittsburgh at New England. Who y'all got? I want to say I think I picked Pittsburgh in that game. New England is tough. Their defense is tough. Milton Williams, I think he got a sack last week, former Eagle product. That game, I said on my picks, I think that the Steelers got a better chance of winning that game. Aaron Rodgers last week, he kind of almost looked like, pedestrian a little bit because he didn't have that fiery game like he did in week one. Steelers, Reese go Steelers, Jason go Steelers. But I think that I think I picked Pittsburgh to win that game. I can't find my sheet. My mom picks New England because she went to college in Boston, so she picks New England. It's a few things that my mom will do when she picks her picks. She's loyal to Boston because she went to college there, and if Arizona Cardinals are playing home and not against the Eagles, she usually pick them at home because of the weather. He had 2 or 3 sacks, hell of a game. Yeah, New England's defense is pretty good. I just think that Aaron Rodgers in that offense, Aaron Rodgers has been, he's been on point so far this year. He ain't have a bad game last week, but I don't think he had a 4 touchdown game either. So next game is the Rams at the Eagles. I got the Eagles in that game because I think that the defense is going to be able to hold us down. I think the offense, as we've done all year long, is going to do enough to win the game. Put it like this too: if they let Saquon Barkley run wild, I think it's going to be a long, long game and a long day for them. And I think it's going to be, of course you would pick the Rams. Of course you would pick the Rams. But I think it's going to be a long day for Matthew Stafford and the Rams if Jalen Carter gets off, Jordan Davis gets off, and if Saquon start running all over that team, the Eagles is going to blow them out. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a real close game. It's going to be one of those games that, again, that we're used to. We've been doing this for the last 2 or 3 years, where we're sitting on the edge of the seat in the fourth quarter, biting our nails, pissed off because we should be doing a little bit more than we were doing. But I still got the Eagles winning. That means we start out 3-0. And the Eagles, like I said, will be come Monday morning. People will start hating on us and, talking trash or whatever they're doing. And it really ain't going to mean nothing. All right, man, why my mouse is acting like that? Jason, go Birds. My mom, go Birds. So, obviously, we on board with that. Next game is the New York Jets at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Saquon is having relationship problems, and his daughter caught a black eye yesterday at the Westchester game. What relationship problems is he having? What's up with you? What are you talking about, Reese? Reese crazy. But that's Reese got the Bucks. You threw me off with that one. He having relationship problems. Like what? I got the Bucks. Their rookie wide receiver from Ohio State. I think he's hurt. I don't know if he's playing this game. I think Chris Godwin is back. Jason picked the Bucks. My mom picked the Bucks. Chris Godwin is back. Baker Mayfield, I think he's definitely rejuvenated his career. I mean, it's been evident over the last 2 seasons. I mean, unfortunately, they don't have enough to like really be seriously considered for a Super Bowl run. But Tampa Bay is one of those teams in the regular season, and we play them, I think, next week. No, we play Denver and then them, I believe. That's one of the teams I have on my calendar as a circle because I want to beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay when we play them because I hate the way that they've been having our number for the last couple of years, and it pisses me off. So that's a game that I have circled on the Eagles calendar because I want to beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay next week or in 2 weeks. Next game, the Colts at the Tennessee Titans. I got the Colts going 3-0. Colts they're a sneaky good team. The Colts is a sneaky good team. Like they've been Shane Steichen got them guys playing some good football. Indiana Jones is looking good. I don't know what Brian Dable and the New York Giants wasn't doing for him or calling for him, but he's been looking good over the last 2 weeks. They pulled out a tough victory against the Broncos, and I thought the Broncos would beat that game. Excuse me. But I got the Colts in that game. I think the Colts is going to start off 3-0. Reese got the Colts. My mom got the Colts. My mouse is acting stupid, y'all. Sorry. I'm trying to put y'all comments up. Colts. And Jason said they owe tight D a little lackluster. I mean, everybody's defense right now is trying to get their footing together, but they've been winning some tough games. That Broncos game was a tough game. I think they only won by 1 point or something like that. It was a close game. But the fact that they was able to pull it out is you got to give them their props. And Jason got the Colts. Next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is out. Marcus Mariota is starting. We did see in this offense a couple times last year where Mariota started and he had that team playing pretty good football. Does he continue it? I think that the Raiders are going to win. I like Geno Smith. Geno Smith to me has found himself over the last couple of seasons, in Seattle. He's a darn good quarterback. Again, he's one of those quarterbacks that probably won't be in contention to win Super Bowls, but I like Geno Smith. And I think that Raiders team will take advantage of the fact that Commanders are without Jaden Daniels. Here's my knock on that Raiders team right now. Ashton Genty, if you ever hear this podcast, ever hear this show, bro, you do not block. You do not block at all. There was plays last week that you had a chance to make a block and you didn't. And you're complaining in week 3 or week 2 about carries. Like, you have to do more to impact the game. Like, you can't just this not college. The defenders on the other side of the ball is way faster than college. So, bro, you can't complain about not getting touches. You got to affect the game in different ways. Reese picked the Commanders. My mom picked the Raiders. Like I said, I picked the Raiders myself because, like I said, I think the Raiders are going to take advantage of Jaden Daniels not playing. Next game, Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers. 4:05 game. Start the 4:05 hour. Denver is tough, but the Chargers is tougher. Chargers have one of those teams, that they have an all-around team pretty much. Long as, obviously, this goes with any team. As long as you stay healthy, you're going to be good. But the Chargers got a good defense. and they got a good offense. I expect the Chargers this year to make a deep run. I expect them to make a deep run. This game is going to be tough, but I think I'll pick the Chargers in this game. I think I win Chargers in this game. So that's just my opinion. I think the Chargers, have a better team than the Broncos. Again, they have a good coach. They have a good offense. They got a good defense. I'll pick the Chargers in this game. My mom picked the Chargers as well. I think my mom has watched my video, and she's kind of copying off of my team. So if you win, pick them this week, Mom. Just know that you got most of your answers off of me, and that's fine. That's good. That's cool. You're listening to your son finally. Next game, New Orleans Saints at Seattle Seahawks. My New York looks bad between the. NY looks bad between us, the Colts, and they have safety out there that went somewhere out of their play code. I'm not sure if I'm not sure what you're kind of saying. It looked like it may look like autocorrect got you a little bit. No, I was talking about Tampa O and D. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Tampa. You're talking about Tampa Bay Bucks. You kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm not sure what you're saying. But you picked the Raiders. My mom picked the Seahawks. Again, I've picked the Seahawks in that game because New Orleans Saints don't have a good quarterback, and they're just not a good. They're a team that's going to have to rebuild over the next couple of years, which I think they should start now by trading some of their players and try to build for the future. And because they don't really have a shot this year to win. Um, Next game, and this to me, I picked an upset. I don't know if you can really consider it an upset, but Dallas at Chicago. I picked Chicago to win that game. Somehow, Caleb Williams figures something out, and he just has a good game. I don't know how. Oh, Jimmy is picking, but I feel as though that y'all might have saw my video, and you guys are copying off my picks. It's okay, Jimmy too. I understand he understands my football knowledge. So that's cool. Um, but at the end of the day, like I said, I believe Caleb Williams figures out a way. Jason with the Chargers to have a good game and do enough to beat the Cowboys. We saw the Cowboys win a close game against the Giants last week. Chicago is a better team than the Giants. They should win a game. Well, see, this is a pick that you just wanted to go against me because you didn't want to copy. But when the Cowboys lose, you'll be like, I should have listened to Jamar, and that includes you, Jimmy. You'll say I should have listened to Jamar and went with his pick. But Chicago will win. I believe Chicago will win that game because Caleb Williams will find a way to win that game against the Cowboys because the Cowboys don't have no defense and they can't stop nobody. So I believe Chicago will win. Next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, I believe, is still no. I think Brock Purdy said he's playing, but I think Arizona is a hot team right now. I got Arizona winning that game. I'm going Arizona over San Fran. Jason with Seahawks in the last. Jason, you a little bit behind. We did you just now showing your Seahawks pick. We had Dallas and Chicago last pick. I picked Chicago. Now we're on Arizona and San Francisco. So I picked Arizona. I'm picking Arizona. I think Arizona has enough to beat this team. Jason with Dallas. I don't know why you guys think that. Not that I don't think you guys think that Dallas is good, but I don't know. Chicago to me is a better team, and I think Chicago's going to win. See again, these kind of comments will have you on in timeout for a little bit of a little portion of the show. We don't need to know the weather. This is not the news. We don't need the Sunday forecast in Arizona. So Arizona would be just fine. You don't have to put the weather. But my mom picks Arizona. I pick Arizona. I think Arizona's going to win. That's another team that's playing some good football. and I believe they got enough to win against the San Francisco 49ers, who's injured, who's banged up. The last game of Sunday night is the Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Giants. Chiefs cannot afford to start 0-3. If the Chiefs start 0-3, you might as well kiss their season goodbye. They cannot afford to start 0-3. Giants is not a good team. Russell Wilson had 400-something yards last week passing the ball. So you can't. And him and Malik Neighbors have been looking pretty good together. So you can't look past them. But I think Kansas City is a way, way better team than the New York Giants. They should win it because they can't afford to go 0-3. So I'm going Kansas City in that game, and I hope I'm right because I don't want to see them go 0-3. I was trying to say NY, let go Barclays Jones and his safety. Can't remember his name. McKinney, I think is his name. I know you're talking about all who is playing better since they left NY. Maybe it's them. Exactly. I do think it's them. I do think it's them. I think the safety he went to Green Bay, I believe. I think the safety went to Green Bay. My mom picks Kansas City. Jason picked the Cardinals in the last game. I pick Kansas City again. They can't afford to go 0-3, so I believe Kansas City will win that game tonight and get in the win column. I don't think it's enough for them to, make no runs or anything like that because Kansas City, to me, like I told y'all before, I think their reign is over. I think their time on top is done. So Kansas City is going to win that game. Monday Night Football, Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be a heck of a game. Detroit put up 52 points against the Chicago Bears, which I was wrong last week. I had the Chicago Bears beating Detroit, and they didn't. They got a 52 burger put up on them. Had more faith in Dallas O than Bears, unfortunately. I hear you, but Dallas has no running game. And Chicago has some pretty good corners if they're healthy. Jason with the Chiefs. So that's why I'm picking. That's why I picked Chicago to beat Dallas. But Detroit put up 52 last week against Chicago. Made them look like they were back. I don't know if it's enough to beat Baltimore. Baltimore has to keep running that football. As long as you can keep running that football with Derrick Henry, I think it's going to be you're going to be hard to game plan against a stop. I'm picking Baltimore in that game. My mom went Baltimore. Baltimore, to me, is just a better overall team. Between them and the Bills, those should be the AFC champions. One of those two teams should be able to get to the Super Bowl over the Chiefs. But me personally, I think it might be a Baltimore year. And here's the thing, like I was talking about earlier with stats. When you sit there and you have 4,000 yards in the season and less than 10 interceptions, and what he had, like 4,000 yards, less than 10 interceptions, like 30 touchdowns, and you don't make the Super Bowl, what did you really do? What did you really do? Did you just really compete to be a MVP, league, regular season MVP? Is that what you played for? Because having those gaudy numbers and having that, look and not making it at least to the Super Bowl means nothing. It means nothing. So having 4,000 yards doesn't matter to me. Jason picked Detroit over Baltimore. I mean, never know, but I don't really see it. Like I said, having 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, whatever interceptions you have, 4 interceptions, final. It doesn't matter what Lamar Jackson had, or even Josh Allen. You can have those numbers. If you're not making it to the Super Bowl or winning the Super Bowl, what are you really doing? What are you playing the game for? So that's just my thought process when it comes to, when people have the arguments about who the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and they put Jalen Hurts outside of the top 5 or even outside of the top 10. But he's won a Super Bowl, which none of the one out of the top 5 has done. Like, so you just miss me with that. I care less about numbers. I care more about the win. And that's what we see in Jalen Hurts do. Even when you got guys like Peyton Manning coming out saying he calls and he talks to me about the X's and O's, the mindsets and the things he needs to do to continue to be at a high level and win Super Bowls. And he said he's so focused and so serious when I don't even try to run my jokes on him because that's how laser focused he is when it comes to this game. So I'd rather have that mindset than trying to go out and be league MVP and not make it to a Super Bowl. That's the mindset I would rather have. I'd rather have 3,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3, 4, 5 interceptions, but make it to a Super Bowl and win. 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. You pick Baltimore over Detroit, okay. And yeah, 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I'd rather have that. I'd rather not have that than not be in a Super Bowl. Like, Super Bowl to me is more important than 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be looking at it, in a different light. But anyway, I appreciate everybody for being a part of the show today. Reese, Jason, my mom, Mac, E-Money Bentley, everybody that participated in the show today, it means a lot. Thanks for liking the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself over the last hour. I hope I didn't talk you guys to death. I just try to, talk as much as I can to get my point across. Jason, I believe you will be back on the show tomorrow, next Sunday, to recap this last game and the next game. And hopefully we come out with a victory because at the end of the day, again, we don't look for stats and numbers and all that. We look for the win. So we need to make sure we do enough to win and not worry about the stats. But anyway, that is my time for today. Look out for my last videos. Hey, honey, I know you're my wife. What the heck? Shout out to you. Thanks for watching the show as well. Good show. Thanks, Mom. Look, go if y'all can. If any of y'all can y'all go on my social medias and like all my content, please? Because I'm trying to keep consistent because that is the way to get noticed and get pushed out there. So go on my social medias. What is it? Darn. Like it, share it, repost it. Do all what you can do to help my content get pushed out because it helps me out a lot. But again, I appreciate everybody for being here. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk.
Flyers, Phillies, let's talk about them. Sixers, Eagles, let's talk about them. What the Union doing? Pull up with the crew and have a drink or two and let's talk about them. This a PHI bar. Bruce Willis, we die hard. I know you feel us, cause Philly fans is the best sports fans by far. No cheating here, we gon' keep it fair. You don't like my set, somebody help them. This the key, if we can disagree without disrespecting, everybody welcome. So what we talking about? Practice? What we talking about? Let's unpack this. Top Shelf Sports Talk. Lights, cameras, we active.